Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss three separate things, but they're sort of related to some of the other topics we spoke on before, which had to do with timing, position, and something else. I can't remember. There was a video before. Now we're going to talk about balance. We're going to talk about balance. Okay, I think it was stance, position, and timing. We're going to talk about balance, position, and timing. Thankfully, there's a number of different ways to look at this. Now let's look at this picture first of all. Do you notice these two boxers, they have good balance. In fact, they have incredible balance. Okay? Right here, one boxer, he's receiving a punch. It's a very straight jab. This is Marquez. He's receiving a straight jab from Floyd Mayweather. But because of his stance, he's not knocked down by that stab to the pit. He's able to brace in his stance. Apparently Marquez was coming forward at the time, and Floyd caught him with the stab to the pit. He was still able to stand up in his stance. So his stance, his balance was good. Now we're going to look at this in more detail right now. And you're going to learn a little bit about balance in boxing. Now if you don't have the correct stance, then it means you don't have the correct balance. Now here is a very simple explanation for this. Here, this person, he's too forward. That means his knees are a little bit beyond his lead foot, which this is his lead foot. Also, his 2 feet are too close together. So what happens as a result of that is, 1, he doesn't get enough power. 2, he can't move as he ought to. And 3, his head and body is more exposed. And if he gets hit with a hook this way or a hook this way, he can get knocked down. Now, if a person is too square, 1, he leaves his body open. His body is more open. See, his body and head is more open at the center, so it's easier to land straight shots down the center on him. 2, he's unable to move backwards properly. Every time he moves backwards, he shifts his whole body, and his body's out of balance. 3, he has less reach on his jab. Okay? And 4, if you hit him straight on, he's probably going to fall backwards. That's why they say don't be too square in boxing. Alright? You also create what's called a T-angle to your opponent, and that can work against you horribly. Now, a good stance is one in which there is separation, but there is balance. So you can see the lead leg is at an angle to the trailing leg. Okay. Of course, separation of the feet is supposed to be maintained, so that you're not too square. 1, 2, you're not too close, so that you won't fall over. If you get hit with a hook, you can be braced on your back leg by bending the knees. If you're hit this way, not only can you block it, but if you're hit this way, again, you're braced here. Okay, depending if you're on your lead foot and you're low like Marquez was, you can fall backwards and brace. Okay. Here again is the bad way, the wrong way to have your feet. Here, you're too far forward. And here you're just too square. Here is a world champion, Andre Ward, showing you the proper stance. Here he's on the front foot, about to attack his opponents, but he's so well balanced that if he needs to withdraw and just feint his opponent, he can do so. Notice his knees are also bent. Okay? So he can always abort his offense anytime he wants to and create a feint instead. Okay? Unlike his opponent, who is flat-footed. Notice his knees are not bent. And so what's going to happen? When he needs to change position very quickly, he will not be able to do that. Again, watch the footwork of Guillermo Rigondeaux. Always athletic. Here his opponent is square to him, forming a T angle. He's so squared up that Guillermo Rigondeaux is going to probably knock this person over because their balance is not going to be there. Okay? Once again, Floyd Mayweather. His footwork again is excellent. Notice again, he's always got that back foot there, but he's on his front foot actually right here. It's strange. You'd think he's on his back foot, but he's actually on his front foot looking to attack Juan Manuel Marquez. And as we all know, he did. So while Marquez was looking to attack, Mayweather predicted that he was going to do so and then came off of the back leg. But notice his front leg is also, he doesn't extend beyond his front leg as he stabs Marquez to the pit. Marquez was in the middle of trying to throw a shot at him. But notice again, he doesn't go beyond his lead. If he needed to pull back, he could pull back on the drop of a dime. Okay? That's called balance. When you're a well-balanced boxer, that's half of your problems dissipated. Positioning. Well, we just talked about positioning. We talked about it with Guillermo Rigondeaux, and we're going to talk about it with somebody else. If you're a well-balanced boxer, then your positioning is such that you can get positioning on your opponent. You see, in boxing, just like in chess, just like in checkers, it's about getting into the right spot where your opponent cannot respond to you, but you can respond to them. In boxing, it's all about positioning. You can have all the speed in the world. You could have all the footwork in the world. If you don't get into the right position, it really doesn't matter. So it's about getting into the position, getting into the slot, getting into the spot. And I think in my last video I was talking about pivoting. And pivoting pivoting can be something that can get you into the positions that you need to get to. Okay? Get you to the openings faster than your opponent can get to them, because it's chess. And I don't know how to say this, but some things are not apparent and some things are. Let's just put it that way. Timing. It's one thing to get into the right position. It's another thing to exploit it so that you actually have maximal effect on your opponent. Gennady Golovkin is very good at doing this. He's able to sort of make his opponent anticipate him, therefore create an extra opening, and then his timing is such that he is delayed it just enough to catch them at a time when they're relaxing, thinking that they are braced for the shot. So one of the things Gennady Golovkin, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Costa Tszyu, Pernell Whitaker, Roy Jones Jr., knockout artists like Lucas Matisse, even Marcos Maidana, even though he doesn't know how he does it, what they are able to do to get their opponents psyched and so on, not to expect the punch, is you time them and you catch them when they least expect it. There are a number of different things they use in boxing. One is misdirection. Another one is timing. Another one is occupying your opponent and mesmerizing them. So there are many different tricks of the trade in boxing. So many different things for you to understand. If your opponent goes completely defensive on you, there's no way you can knock him out, okay? But if your opponent is taking risks, you have to deceive them into taking risks, making them believe that they're doing something, and then you spring on them. See, that's how boxing works. So there's a lot I would love to say about boxing, but for now I'm going to leave it right there. So timing, positioning, and of course balance are all very important things in boxing. And a master boxer takes advantage of someone's lack of positioning, their lack of balance, and their lack of timing. All right? Let's leave it at that. You guys have a great day.